the member from Nepean-Carleton.
Thank you, Speaker. All that is required for evil to prevail is for good people to do nothing. I started the day in the aftermath of the Quebec mosque shooting, contacting the 2 mosques in Nepean and the synagogue in Barrhaven. This is a message. I told them that they should not live in fear for worshiping God. And it was a message that I delivered at their pulpits for 11 years. And I felt so hollow that my words were just only that. As a Christian, I have never had to fear going to church, although I know that's not a luxury elsewhere in the world. And I wanted to them today and then to reaffirm the Canadian value and freedom of religion. Hate is hate. Hate of all kinds need to be condemned. Today's motion by Nathalie Desrosiers is actually just a simple matter of process in the Assembly by decent people. It should receive unanimous support, and I expect that it will. We would not tolerate hate or racism against any group in Ontario, so why would we not now? Or why would we add a caveat to tolerance? Islamophobia is real, and we know it. It is anti-Muslim hatred and bigotry, and it cost the lives of 6 peace-loving men in Quebec City. Some argue over semantics or definitions. I won't. I flatly reject any loophole where racism is tolerated in any shape or form. I've seen it done, and I've seen it by all sides of the political spectrum. So I want to caution people on the right who want to inflame this, and I would caution people on the left who want to inflame this. As legislators, it is our duty to lead our communities through debates of humanity, inclusion, and tolerance. And on March 20th, I will do that with my multi-faith leaders in Nepean and with other organizations as well to celebrate our diversity and to stamp out hatred. And I'm pleased that my Imam Delik of South Nepean's Muslim community, Rabbis Bloom and Balka of the Jewish faith, and Dan Guther of the Christian congregation of Cedarview Alliance will be there. You know, it was Imam Delik who said to me on the vigil that we held in Nepean after this massacre in Quebec that we must be righteous, not self-righteous, and that has stuck with me. I can tell you that I've seen recent events prove that hate in all of its forms exists. In November, the Christian, Muslim, and Jewish faiths were all attacked with graffiti and vandalism in order to intimidate people. What happened in Quebec City, I think, bears repeating, because no person in this country should go into their place of worship expecting that they may never leave their place of worship. On Saturday, my daughter's hockey team was in a rural community outside of Ottawa. I'm proud of them because not only are they a great team, they had a good winning record that weekend, but they're very diverse. It was once said to me by the head of United Way in Ottawa that they are the United Nations. They look so beautiful. 3 girls on that team are South Asian. And as we walked down the street, they were yelled at about the N-word. Thankfully, my daughter didn't know what it meant, but that hate existed this past weekend, and those girls are 11 and 12 years old. And last night, swastikas sprayed in Hamilton. Hate is everywhere around us, and it's not something I'm comfortable with. It is not something I want my daughter to grow up with. And it's true, as a legislature, we have frequently condemned hate activity against Ontarians. Sometimes we've done this generally. Other times we have done it quite specifically through non-binding motions like this or even through private members' bills. And this is a non-binding motion. It's true, it's not going to change anything by the letter of the law. However, it's not out of the norm for us to support a community who feels threatened. And I think this is an important gesture for our Muslim community. As an MPP, I prefer to promote humanity, inclusion, and tolerance as a way to bring people together. And I'm proud of my leader, Patrick Brown, that when I called him this past weekend and said, I think we should support this motion, he was going to call me to say we were going to do the same. And I appreciate that, because sometimes the wedge politics that exist in all political parties can dissuade us from doing the right thing, and we did the right thing on this. And so those who want to play wedge politics, I just ask them, and I would appeal to them to please stop it. All Ontarians should feel safe and secure in their province, regardless of their religion, race, language, sexual orientation, or their gender. And I, for one, will never accept or tolerate any segment of my constituency in Nepean Carleton being targeted because they look, speak, or pray differently. The truth is, most of us just get up in the morning and hope that we have enough money to put food on the table, pay our mortgage, and keep our children safe. And in this debate, as in every debate about hatred, I think we need that to be our starting point. Thank you.